I'm Victoria Jane and I'm here at GigPig HQ. This is from the studio and today I've got someone special sat next to me. I've got the stunning Anna Lynch. It's so nice to have you here. How's your day been?
Good, yeah. No, not much has happened, so this is like the start of my day. I
love that for you.
I had quite a late gig last night with Alex, who's over there. So we're just getting round. I need a coffee, but I'm good.
Do you know what? I'm going to jump right in and ask about the gigs because you do a lot of gigs.
Yeah.
What is one thing that you love about gigging and one thing that can sometimes be a bit of a pain in the ass?
So I love being around all the musicians they're a lot older than me, some of them, and they're just very, very talented, and I do sometimes feel a bit in awe. I'm like, they're so good. And it's really inspiring, and also just seeing other people doing really cool things and like seeing what songs they do and then getting inspired. The one thing that's a pain is the late nights because I love being in bed at like 11 and that doesn't happen very often. So that's the side of it that as much as I'm going to have to just grin and bear it, I don't love the late nights.
Oh gosh. I mean, do you know what? Especially in the winter as well. I've got to commend you for doing all the gigs at late nights because it's not easy.
I know.
It's
sometimes like starting at 11 and you're leaving the house at like 10, you just want to go to bed. But it's like that's my job. I'm going to have to just grin and bear it. But yeah, in summer it's easier, but winter it's not so fun.
And I want to talk a bit about you as an artist because obviously you're a gig queen, you're a natural, and you've been singing for quite a while. And you're now working on like your own original stuff, which is so great. You released a song this year, last year.
I think it was this year. I think it was.
Earlier on this year.
Yeah, quite a while ago. But
so how is it like making that change from doing more covers and the songs you do at gigs to stepping into yourself as an artist now?
It's been hard, but I've kind of realised that I have to be the like driving force in it. It's really easy to chase the gigs and I love them and it's my job and it's great. It's a great job, but I think I've had to be like, you might need to say no to some gigs to focus on your thing and also just like compartmentalise different bits of time for each thing and just getting in like a flow state with it where I was telling myself like I can't write and now I've started doing it. I'm like, no, you can and you can do it. So I think I've decided that next year is my year for just having more energy for that because it's what my soul needs and it's what I want to do.
Yeah. Why do you think that you felt like you couldn't write, like looking back now?
I don't know. I think I started to believe that like I'm not, because I don't play an instrument or I'm not a producer, I can't do all the things. I was like, maybe I'm not enough of a musician to do it. And I kind of just was down that story. So now I'm like, no, we need to stop that.
You got it.
Yeah, exactly. Literally. And I think being around, I've realised it really helps me being in a room with like a guitarist or a keys player that can kind of understand. Once they like set the chords down, I'm like, right, okay, I can write something now.
And kind of just like blend seamlessly together.
Yeah, and I need that space. Like I've tried to write at home on my own and it just doesn't flow as well.
I think you need to sometimes get out of that your comfort zone, or your comfort area. Because being at home writing sometimes can be very mentally like distracting 100%. As well. So I get what you mean there.
Yeah, and also that, like you just said, this year I've realised I love the comfort zone, but I want to step out of the comfort zone more because I feel like that's when the real growth happens.
Oh, 100%. Like, I think if people don't step out the comfort zone, nothing's going to change and change is always 100%.
Yeah, I agree.
Taking it back though, growing up, what were some of your musical influences and like how have they helped you evolve as an artist and a singer?
I mean, I'm going to say it, but obviously Amy, we spoke about, I remember being like 11 years old and my mum took me to a little recording studio and we did a cover of Valerie and like the love affair just began with Amy. And I don't know what it was just like her music just really spoke to me. And then growing up, like my mum just listened to such a vast range. There wasn't like one genre, she'd like listen to country and then all different stuff. So I guess female musicians have really influenced me and seeing, big powerhouse female singers has been amazing, but Amy has been a huge influence. And then nowadays, like seeing people like Olivia Dean and Joy Crooks,
she's smashing it,
like just having that kind of, Amy vibe, but doing it in a more modern sense. I just love it. I think it's so cool.
It's so nice to see. I love that your mum took you to the studio as well. That is such shout out to mum.
I know. She literally started the career.
Amazing.
I love it. Yeah.
That's such a great thing.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask, like, growing up in Manchester, how has the city influenced you, and what do you love about the music scene in Manchester?
I think, so I remember being like around, I probably was about 17, 18 when I really started to become obsessed with music.
Oh, really?
And like I went through loads of different vibes and genres. Like I loved indie music for a while.
Yeah.
And just seeing how many people are doing music and how much space there is for all of us. And I don't know, I've always thought, do I move to London? Do I stay here? But there's just something about Manchester, like it's got a cosy vibe. Everyone knows each other. And it feels like you can achieve anything and there's so much support around you. So I feel like it's influenced me feeling like I can do it. There's really kind people here and you feel like you kind of know everyone. So yeah, I love it. I do love Manchester.
It's mad that you say that because I agree 100% with everything you've said. And it just feels like a warm, you have a warmth in Manchester.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
It's also interesting that you said you'd thought about London because that's a big thing, like the difference between the opportunities in London and in Manchester.
Yeah.
How have you found actually getting gigs up here? And
quite hard. I mean, I was in a band for a while that we didn't end up doing so much, but I was like the one that was getting the gigs for that. And it's hard. It is really hard. I think once you get a bit further into it, it's probably easier and they just start to flow. But I think, like you said, the opportunities that might be in London, sometimes I'm like, would it be easier to be there? But that, to me, would feel like I would be giving up so much because I just love my life here. Do you know what I mean?
It's one of those feelings, really. Moving swiftly on to you as an artist now, and obviously you're beginning to come into yourself in this new kind of era of Anna Lynch. I know you're going to be performing a little bit of an original that possibly could be coming out.
Yes.
How did it feel? How does it feel writing this new material, and like, what's your songwriting process?
It feels so good. Like I can't even. It's been amazing. Like yesterday, we started a new song that I think might be my new favourite.
Oh,
so that might be the first song that comes out. But my process is really strange. Like the other day I did a writing session and the guy like played some chords and not much happened in the session, and then I went away and I just like listened to it and wrote something. And then I've been going to an amazing producer called Dan Berry. He's done some amazing things, so you should check him out. But he's been helping me kind of like bring the tunes to life.
Right.
And it has been a slow process, and it's one of them I'm trying not to rush the thing. You know, because like, of course I want it out now, but I want it to be ready and I want it to take its time.
Of course.
So yeah, it's happening slowly, but it's coming, and I'm just kind of, when inspiration hits, I'll try and write something. But like I said before, it really helps being with people that kind of can help to get the ideas like moving along.
I love that. I can't wait to hear all the new music. Like it's nice because I feel like at the moment, especially when there's so many eyes on the city and the talent coming out of Manchester, it's going to be really a great time for you as an artist.
And I feel like there's a really nice community of like female musicians all just really supporting each other. I know you know some of them. And I'm just seeing that, like Rosie that was in here, and Marley, and I just want to be a part of it, like all just supporting each other. You know, there's space for all of us, and it's really beautiful to watch.
Oh, literally, I second it. And you are a part of it as well.
Well, yeah,
like, you are. But the last question that I wanted to ask you, bit of a wild card, but I love asking it.
Okay.
What is one thing that you couldn't live without being on your rider?
On my rider?
Yeah, at like a gig.
This is right. Okay, so I don't know if this is good for your voice, but an iced latte with oat milk.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, we always ask for that. Even if it's like 8 p.m, I'll ask for an iced coffee. Alex knows.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's probably that.
I love that. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. It's been so nice.
Make sure you check out Anna Lynch's live session from the studio.